Neymar was supposed to become football's next king. Millions believed he would dominate the sport for a generation. Instead, his career became one of football's biggest what-if stories. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Flop Files. Today we're diving straight into the suspenseful and honestly highly emotional duality of a truly generational talent. We're going to navigate through the incredible highs and the agonizing lows of a player who completely captivated the entire world.
You know, millions truly believed Neymar would sit on that throne untouched for an entire generation. But his journey took a drastically different and, frankly, kind of heartbreaking path. Let's trace exactly how a career with such boundless promise, such unbelievable flair and natural ability transformed into a relentless, endless debate over unfulfilled potential.
Section 1. The Boy Wonder of Brazil. Astronomical Expectations. To really get why this story is so heartbreaking, we've got to first understand the intense, almost suffocating expectations placed right on his shoulders from childhood.
79. That is the sheer weight of the number of goals Neymar eventually scored for the Brazilian national team. With that number, he finally eclipsed Pelé's legendary 60-year record. Just think about the gravity of that for a second. He surpassed Pelé, the absolute undisputed icon of Brazilian football. Achieving a milestone like that kind of sets the stage for the immense pressure he played under from literally day one. He wasn't just expected to be good, guys. He was expected to be an absolute deity on the pitch.
And this immense pressure? Well, it started building incredibly early. His rise at the Santos Academy was absolutely meteoric. He was discovered playing futsal at just 10 years old by two-time World Cup winner Zito. And Zito was so blown away by what he saw that Santos literally created a special under-10 team just because they didn't have an age group for him yet. I mean, how crazy is that? Making his professional debut as a remarkably thin 17-year-old, he used those futsal-honed skills to just dazzle fans. He ultimately led Santos to their most successful era since Pelé, scoring a staggering 138 goals in 230 appearances for the club. He was already signing autographs, dealing with massive media scrums, and becoming a national television personality before he was even a teenager.
Section 2. Stepping out of the shadow, the turning point. So after fulfilling his boyhood dream of conquering South America and eventually Europe with Barcelona, a pivotal, highly controversial decision altered his entire trajectory.
He faced a monumental crossroads here. On one hand, life at Barcelona was practically perfect. He was part of the legendary MSN trio, alongside Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, just tearing through the toughest defenses in the world and winning the Champions League. But on the other hand, there was the undeniable allure of Paris Saint-Germain. Neymar Sr. later revealed that the record-breaking €222 million move to PSG wasn't just about the financial gain, it was heavily driven by his son's desire to step out of Messi's shadow. He didn't want to just be a supporting star anymore, he wanted to be the main man, the singular biggest star of a club, carrying a team entirely on his own back.
Section 3. The agony of injuries, the physical cost of greatness. But Neymar's quest for individual supremacy in Paris was immediately derailed by a tragic physical toll. A toll that actually started years earlier on the international stage.
So we have to pause here and ask, how close did it all come to ending completely? The terrifying reality of his career's fragility was fully exposed during the 2014 World Cup quarterfinal against Colombia. It's a moment that still haunts Brazilian fans to this day.
Late in that highly intense match, a brutal knee to the lower back from Camilo Zuniga fractured Neymar's vertebrae. He lay completely paralyzed on the pitch, crying out, unable to even feel his legs. In the hospital, as the entire nation held its breath, his doctors delivered a chilling verdict. They said, 2 centimeters to the side, and football is over for you. He was mere centimeters away from spending the rest of his life in a wheelchair. His footballing dreams were almost completely extinguished in a single, violent collision.
And that haunting memory was compounded by a staggering list of subsequent injuries over the next decade. The physical cost of his career was simply immense. An agonizing cruciate ligament tear kept him completely out of action for 340 days, missing 60 crucial games. He endured multiple ankle surgeries and knee injuries, sidelining him for hundreds of days. At PSG and later during his stint in Saudi Arabia, his body just constantly betrayed him. These injuries repeatedly interrupted his rhythm, broke his momentum, and robbed fans worldwide of what should have been his uninterrupted prime years on the pitch. By the way, if you're enjoying this story, subscribe to Flop Files and share this video with a football fan.
Section 4. A Heartbroken Football Nation, The Fall from Grace. These physical absences were paired with mounting off-field distractions, shifting the narrative around him in a really profound way.
This sentiment perfectly captures the heartbreak of Brazilian fans who quite literally watched him grow up. As one devoted fan summarized the feeling, "It's not hate, it's heartbreak, feels like the mindset never matched the potential." Fans watched in absolute dismay as younger peers like Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland leveled up through sheer relentless grind, while Neymar seemed increasingly distracted by high-stakes poker tournaments, lavish high-profile parties, and, unnecessary beefs with journalists. The focus just seemed to have shifted from dominating the sport to dominating the tabloids.
Academic researchers actually modeled the personal brand authenticity of top football players, analyzing their talent, discretion, and consistency. And the data showed that Neymar's extreme, undisputed talent simply wasn't enough to secure an untarnished legacy. The study found that a perceived lack of off-pitch consistency and candidness heavily dragged down his brand. The fans didn't necessarily care about his morality, but they deeply cared that his off-field behavior didn't consistently match the extreme, laser-focused dedication expected of a reigning footballing king.
Section 5. The statistical reality, the elite numbers. Yet, despite this heartbreaking narrative of a wasted career, a career punctuated by horrific injuries and endless off-field drama, we really have to look at the other side of the coin.
Because the empirical data paints a picture of undeniable, historic greatness. Even with his devastating injuries, at age 34, Neymar sits at an astonishing 738 career goal contributions. While Cristiano Ronaldo had 890 and Lionel Messi had 1,056 at that exact same age, Neymar actually boasts a better minutes per goal contribution rate than Ronaldo did at 34. Let that sink in for a second. Despite missing literally hundreds of days to injury, his sheer efficiency and devastating impact when he actually was on the pitch keep him firmly, undeniably in the pantheon of the absolute elite.
Section 6. One last shot at glory. The final mission. Just as the footballing world had largely written him off as a semi-retired player fading away in the Saudi League, an incredible, cinematic twist shocked everyone.
Carlo Ancelotti, stepping in to manage Brazil, shocked the sport by calling up the 34-year-old for the 2026 World Cup squad. Back at Santos and finally completely healthy, Neymar returned to the national team setup. He called it his final mission. One last, desperate attempt to end Brazil's agonizing 24-year World Cup drought. A quarter of a century without lifting the ultimate trophy is basically an eternity for a nation that lives and breathes football, and Neymar has returned to shoulder that burden and attempt to cement his legacy once and for all. Neymar may never win the Ballon d'Or or a World Cup, but his talent, flair, and impact on football will never be forgotten. The question remains, was Neymar a football legend or football's greatest what if? Thanks for watching Flop Files.